the intention for this service, which I know that it will be uplifting, and prayerfully I believe that it will be refreshing and renewing for you as well. So let's take a moment, gently close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And take a deep breath. Let that breath remind you of the energy of life that flows in and through you, the energy of God that animates you. We breathe in joy and peace, and we send it out with the exhale, joy and peace to the world. We've come together with the intention to open our hearts and our minds to be totally receptive to the indwelling spirit that is moving in this place and in our lives, to hear and listen with our heart to what it is saying, to allow ourselves to be healed and touched by a spirit, to restore ourselves to that fountain of joy, that river of life that is within us. We are so grateful for this opportunity to come together, for this opportunity to be in this space where there is so much love. Come together to celebrate life on this day in this place with one another. And we are grateful, God, for the many ways that you show up in our lives, for the many ways that we become that expression of you because we allow it, the many ways that we know that are become aware that we are God is and all is well. So with that gratitude in our heart, with that appreciation for knowing a greater truth that helps us move through life experiences with greater ease and knowing that we have all that we need to do whatever it is that is ours to do and to walk in whatever it is, through whatever it is that we need to walk through. We are so grateful for the living and dwelling presence of God in us, as us moving through us, out into the world and into all those that we meet. So for this, we are grateful, God. We are here, we are present, we are now in this place, one mind, one heart, united with the mind of God. And so it is. So will you say affirmation of oneness with me? There is one power and one presence in the universe and in my life. God the good, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present, right here, right now, God. Namaste.
Good morning, everyone. Today's daily word is balance. And that's important for me because I hurt my knees when I was away, so I need to keep in balance. I honor life's shifting rhythms. Sometimes trying to balance my schedule, meet my obligations, and even find time for the things I enjoy can leave me scrambling to figure out how to fit it all in. Today, I take my cue from nature and notice the rhythm of the seasons and the tides, the cycles of growth, and the order that underlies all things. I appreciate how seamlessly the natural world balances itself and restores itself to harmony. This gift of harmony and balance lives in me. I honor myself when I flow with it instead of forcing my will upon it. I listen to my body's many signals. I rest when I'm tired. eat when I'm hungry, and socialize and seek solitude as I need to. As I care for myself, I find balance. A quote from Scripture, "For there is nothing better for people under the sun than to eat and drink and enjoy themselves." Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 15. Namaste.
God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am, God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
Since this is a very special day today, we've looked at our ancestors last week and this week. So I'm reading something that was written by Richard Rohr, Franciscan friar, and it's about our ancestors. He calls it resting in love. How do we come to know love so that we can live from its depths? Love cannot be understood by the mind. And if God is love, love will never be subject to the mind as we know it. God and love can only be experienced. This simple practice is an invitation to encounter love in its very physical, connective reality. So I invite you now to become comfortable in your chair. Gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath and relax. We'll pause for a few moments. We'll set aside any distractions and breathe slowly, easily. Place the palm of one of your hands on your heart. Feel your heart beating, letting its rhythm bring you into the present moment and into the awareness of God's blessing on your life. Beat after beat after beat. Giving to your conscious mind a loved one, an ancestor, a favorite place or animal, or anything that makes you smile with undeniable, spontaneous, unconditional love and joy. Bring that particular beloved being or thing down from your mind and place it right under your palm in your heart space. Relax your mind and let your heart relax at the same time. Feel the sensation of blood vessels, muscles, your chest cavity, opening in warmth. For that particular loved thing. Family, pet, ancestors, and smile. Now humbly place a challenging person, an issue, or problem directly under your palm, within your wide open heart space, where you have felt the beat of it. This could be someone or something currently challenging you, or an old hurt from a person gone from the living world. Silently continue to smile and hold this challenging thing in the warmth of your heart. Smile with closed eyes. Look at the thing that causes you pain. Visualizing the detail that bothers you the most. All the while smiling. Consider that there may be reasons why this thing brings hurt. Smile at the fragility, the suffering that makes it this way. Finally, give the person or problem to your heart and ask that your heart's wisdom and love take over. Rest in the love that loves both you and the other and wants to transform all into its loving image. Human ancestors leave legacies on physical and cultural bones, while stones carry meaning and memory, as at Stonehenge in Easter Island and throughout the world. I leave you with a question to ponder and maybe journal over the next few weeks. How will you listen to the wisdom of your ancestors? And you can come back to this place when you are comfortable in doing so. Namaste, everyone.
Mary, that was so beautiful and healing, and thank you. Thank you. So, I'm going to try to speak a little louder because at times I tend to trail away and my voice gets too low. So if that does, just raise your hand and let me know, and I will just speak up a little bit more so it'd be comfortable for everyone to be able to hear. So last week, when we got together, we did our Day of Remembrance. And as a community, we began to reflect on those ancestors, those people that have transitioned before us, and we began to focus on the sanctity of life. And we were remembering them and loving on them and feeling their love very close to us. As you can see, we had created altars, and so many of you brought mementos and pictures on, Sunday. And then throughout the week, many of you brought offerings. And I would see you pass by, and I would check into the sanctuary once in a while, and boy, each day I would see that there was more and more and more, and some of you brought them in this morning. And I found myself throughout the week coming in here several times and just looking at everything, just looking, just seeing, sitting down for a little while, and I could tell you that I felt such an outpouring of love in this room. It was this outpouring that I recognized as the love that you have shared with your loved one, that is still alive, because love never dies. So it filled this place, and many times I just, really broke down in tears just simply knowing that love will always be here. Love will always live in your heart. Love will always be present and never dies. But I know that as I looked at the different pictures and the different mementos, I wondered so many things. Like I wondered what your loved ones were like. What were they like? What was their personality like? My mom's personality was all over the place. But she was really generally a happy person, very happy person, looked at the good side of life. And what role did they play in your life? I picked up some of them and I said, I don't recognize them. I wonder if it was their mother or father or grandfather or grandmother or grandchild, a son, a daughter, an uncle, aunt, a friend. Who were they in your life? I wondered about that. I wonder what you found so special about them, that they still are so alive in your heart. I wondered about that. What did they like? What did they dislike? What did they do in their lives? What careers did they have? I had so many, 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 many questions. Some of you came during the week and shared some of your stories. And even this morning, some of you shared your stories. You see, each life, we are creating the story of our life. Each page, each day is a story that we are creating with our lives. And when we transition, when our loved ones transition, their story is worth 1,000 tellings. It really is, because their life mattered. So there's so much power in telling the stories. They are, for me, I feel they're almost like the entryway into healing. Okay, I can just envision it, a big gateway. I'm telling the story, and I'm entering on this path of gratitude, walking that path of gratitude for their being in my life. And in doing that, in telling the stories and allowing gratitude to fill our heart, theirs and mine, my heart, because of their transition, I feel that we begin to heal. And it's hard. Oh my goodness. Telling the story is not always an easy thing to do. You know, it's hard to do. And sometimes we're not ready, and that's okay. That is totally okay. It took years for me to even be in a gathering to be able to say anything about Danny. Even to my own family, see his witness, I would not talk. But when I did, even despite the pain, they lived in me this immense gratitude that he was in my life. The same for my mom. And telling the stories is what keeps them alive in our heart. We don't want to forget. We don't. We keep their memory alive, but also we feel their presence because they're spirit. Spirit is eternal. We create in the image and likeness of God. So that spirit does not die when it ceases to be in the body. So what I believe that happens is that in telling the story, we confirm for both the listener and the storyteller some very valuable things. One of them is that life experience here in this realm is brief. Before you know it, you blink your eyes and you feel like, wow, where did the time go? I won't tell you how old I am, but I can't believe it. I said, hello, when did that happen? Ernest Holmes said, one life flows through all, and that all are part of the one life. So it doesn't cease that one life is eternal. It does not cease when it leaves the body. So yes, in telling the story, we recognize, wow, life is brief here. How do I want to live my life? Life is sacred. We begin to realize, wow, I'm grateful for my life. Every trial, everything has brought me to where I am today. And it has allowed me to be a greater expression of the divine. And there's more to come, I hope, that I will learn from, and I could be a brighter light in this world. So I choose not to take life for granted. I don't. I want to focus my energy, and I encourage you to do so as well. Focus your energy on what really matters. Take an inventory in your life. What really matters in your life now? Because the energy of life is flowing through you in this body for a brief period of time. What would you do with the gift of life that you've been given? What imprints will you leave in the hearts of those that are left behind? That's important. And in telling the stories, we kind of recognize that. Telling the story also helps us realize that we're not isolated. You know, sometimes we suffer all by ourselves. We don't want make that connection with anyone. We don't want to bother them, or we think that what we're feeling is insignificant. Or with me, in my case, this is my grief, not yours. I'm not sharing it with you at all. This is mine, okay? So it's so strange how we behave, you know, in our human condition when we are suffering. So telling the story helps us to realize that, you know, we're not alone or isolated in these experiences. We have all had our very own measure of grief and our very own measure of gratitude for the people in our lives. So tell the stories when you can. The listener and the storyteller are in familiar territory. It's nothing new. They're there to companion with us during that time. And they're getting such, in that intimate moment of sharing, there's a deeper connection that's made between the two people. And in the spaces between them, there is this pouring of compassion and empathy and understanding and kindness. You're in that moment with each other. And you know, all those things that I just said are all part of your true nature. So you're showing up as your authentic self in those times of intimate connections. And then all of a sudden you realize we're one, not different. We're all sharing that same experience. We don't need to be isolated. Telling the story also declares that the beauty and the worth of your beloved one. Telling the story makes them feel real, like their life really did matter. You don't want to forget. And with gratitude in our heart, we give thanks. Something happens all of a sudden. We are in sorrow, and then gratitude kind of just bubbles from within and comes forth and eases the pain, and you feel grateful. Telling the story reminds us that we're not here by chance, not at all. Infinite being, God, whatever you call God, brought us forth in this time and in this place. So we're here for good purpose. Your life matters in what wants to be birthed, in what wants to go forth. So listening to the stories, we realize that my life matters. I'm not here by chance. My life is sacred blessing to the world. And become grateful that I am here. Despite all the challenges, there is also lots of joy. So I take it all in as part of the human experience that I'm having as a spiritual being. You know, this thing about gratitude is amazing. The more you appreciate, and the more you heal, the more you draw to you that which you appreciate, the love of and the wisdom that your ancestors have left for you. Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, said this about gratitude. She said, "Thanksgiving may be likened to the rain that falls upon the ready soil, refreshing vegetation and increasing the productiveness of the soil." The soil is our consciousness, the ready soil that is ready to receive healing, the ready soil that invites gratitude and allows it to restore us and refresh us and prosper us. Because all the time we realize life is so amazingly beautiful, even though it's chaotic sometimes and messy and all that. In spite of all that, it's beautiful. Your life is beautiful. Your life is God's life, wanting to express itself through you. So today, we're going to have an opportunity to tell our stories of our loved ones as we break bread together, as we just be with each other in that intimate connection. Because we don't want to forget, because we want to remember the wisdom that they left us, because we want to know what our life matters. Know that. And so collectively, we will do that. And it will become a sacred, loving, healing place, which is part of our mission to create a loving and healing and accepting community. And you don't have to tell the story if you don't want to. But if you do, I believe, trust me, it will be healing for you. For you are in a safe place that love abides, because love abides in you. And you are that love. So when we tell these stories, I can tell you, I think I could never run out of stories to tell you about Danny, about Mom, about people in my family, my friends that have transitioned. I feel like I have so many. Some of the stories are hard to tell, like I said earlier, and some are less hard. There's stories that are, when I tell them, it's every time I get a new insight about something I need for that moment, a new appreciation and a deeper gratitude. And what I've come to understand, over the years, is that we have the capacity to hold feelings of grief as well as feelings of gratitude. That's the balance that Mary was sharing in the daily word. We can do both simultaneously. It's like a dance, And we need to be careful. Francis Wheeler, who is a community builder, writer, and teacher, he said it best. He said it as this: the work of the mature person is to carry grief in one hand and gratitude in the other, and to be stretched large by them. How much sorrow can I hold? That's how much gratitude I can give. How much sorrow can I hold? That's how much gratitude I can give. If I carry only grief, I'll bend towards cynicism and despair. If I carry only gratitude, I'll become chagrined and won't develop compassion for other people's feelings. So both need to dance together. Both can be held simultaneously. Both help us become more of what we truly are. So Weller really captured the importance of this balance, this dance that we have with grief and gratitude. This week I had breakfast with one congregant, beautiful, beautiful person. So grateful that she is part of this community. And we had a collective sharing of telling stories. And we cried together. We held each other. We listened deeply. We laughed together. Some of the stories are kind of funny. And when we laughed, we were such in deep appreciation for one another, that we were able to do this with one another. We all have stories, all of us. And I can tell you, so many. I'll tell you one in particular that I think you would enjoy, or at least get a glimpse to see both my mom and my dad, and my mom and my son in the story, what they were like. I treasure this little story. Danny only lived a very brief time. He was diagnosed with leukemia, and at age 10, he transitioned. But although his life was brief, his life left such a huge impact in mine. And my mom was an exceptional woman. Boy, she was tough towards the end to be with. But before that, she was remarkable. I never really knew her as anything else but mom. But during her transition, the celebration of life, people shared all kinds of stories about her, and I got to see her through different eyes, right, see? So mom and dad had this, mom and Dan, had this special little bond. Danny had to spend a lot of days in the hospital. And lots of times, I was with him, but there were times when I would feel really exhausted and I needed relief. And either Joe was working, so whenever he could, he would spend the night. But my mom spent the night, a couple of nights in the hospital. And they watched scary movies, okay? I would not let him watch scary movies at home. I don't even watch scary movies in my house, But grandma being grandma, you know how grandmas are. They break all the rules. They do. So mom came one time and stayed with Danny, and they were watching scary movies. And the movie they were watching together was that old movie of Dracula. You imagine a 10-year-old watching Dracula. I wanted to say, Mom, what is wrong with you? But anyway, But somehow Mom made it fun. She made it fun. It wasn't scary for him. She bought fangs, a little bag of fangs. And she made him wear it, and I don't know how she did this, but she had the nurse wearing it. And the nurse would come in and draw the blood with the fangs, and then the doctors came in with a red towel. It was like a red blanket or something. But they all got into this act, you know. And Mom kept telling Danny that it's not scary, it's make-believe, you know, that it was Hollywood made. That just like you dress up for Halloween, they dress up as little monsters, you know, and they're real people, just you and I. Nothing to be afraid of, she would tell him. So here she is, watching this movie. I know nothing about it, and I show up the following day to relieve my mom and to be with Dan. And later on, Danny tells me all about the experience they had together. And he says, Mom, Grandma makes the worst vampire. She just can't keep those fangs in her mouth at all. And you know what she did? She took off her false teeth. Oh, she had this removable bridge, and I guess she used that to, I don't know what she was doing. I can't even picture it, to tell you the truth. I could just imagine the laughter that he had. Danny told me how Grandma helped him not to be afraid. I really don't know all that they talked about. All I know is that I will forever and ever and ever, until I take this last breath, be grateful for Mom helping Danny to face his fears. It was scary for him, a little boy in the hospital. And somehow through these scary movies, she was able to help him not to be afraid. I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful for my son, who also taught me courage. In spite of everything, he always found a way to find something funny about it. I know I told this story before, but I left for a few minutes to get something by the nurse's station. When I came back, he had stripped himself down, had nothing on him except his, undies. And he had wrapped a towel around his head like a Swami guy, And there he was going, Somehow, he found a way to make me smile. Found things to do that remind me of him. He was courageous, and he was brave, and he saw life with the glass half full. Never spoke about his fears to me. Just the fact that he was there, and that he would just get through this. This was another day in his life. And though he was scared, he just said, well, this is one more thing I need to do, and I'll do it. Lots of lessons for me in Danny's little brief life. Lots of lessons for me with how Mom had so much wisdom. She found a way to help this little boy. And I would have never thought about that, not in a million years. So today we get to tell the stories, and I hope that my story will help you to see the value of telling the story, the many lessons that we learn just from listening to it. I gathered some lessons, I'm sure you got some as well. We will eat together, tell the stories. We will draw from the love that unites us, because their love is the same love that is in us. It will put us together. And we will offer each other compassion and empathy. And it is my deepest prayer that it will leave you with a sense of gratitude for life, that you will celebrate your life. And there, as you remember their lives, that you will see the beauty and magnificence of being alive at this time and in this place. That you will really take inventory of what really matters. We've spent so much time on things that really don't matter. Look for the joy. Look for the peace. Be a peacemaker. Let your life be that people will look back on and say, wow, I'll never forget, blah, 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 whatever that story will be. So let there be, I can almost see it. Let us have the joy of sharing. Allow the laughter. Allow the sadness, the tears. Allow it. All of it was part of this amazing healing that we are longing for, our soul longs for. So I want to leave you with one slide, and it's this one here. Grief and gratitude are kindred souls, each pointing to the beauty of what is transient and given to us by grace. Think about that. It's grace that sees us through. It is love that holds us as we journey. And it is what restores us back to gratitude and joy and celebration of life. So I'm ready to celebrate. I don't know about you. I am ready. Arriba, if I have to. And I pray that you will join us in the cafe, that you will be part of this celebration, that you will experience what it's like to really connect heart to heart. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to know that you are in a safe place and that you are loved. The light of God surrounds you and the love of God enfolds you, always and forever. Namaste. Stand, so if you want to stand with me, because this is all about celebrating life, or you could sit, it doesn't matter. I just like to stand, so I'm going to stand in this little corner.
If you're ready to start opening hearts, making life better, let's paint the town with a rainbow of joy to bring us together. Celebrate life, talk about love, radiate hope, lift up the world. We can share the joy of knowing we are filled to overflowing. Celebrate life, sing a love song to your loved ones, let them sing along. Isn't it time we find we are all like a shining light when we celebrate life? If you're ready to play out in the day, whatever the weather, let the rain fall, there's joy in it all when we do it together. Celebrate life, talk about love, radiate hope, lift up the world. We can share the joy of knowing we are filled to overflowing. Celebrate life, sing a love song to your loved ones, let them sing along. Isn't it time we find we are all like a shining light when we celebrate life? When you're feeling sad and low, call your friends and let them know. You'll be surprised right before your eyes. They're so open-hearted, they'll get the party started. Celebrate life, talk about love, radiate hope, lift up the world. We can share the joy of knowing we are filled to overflowing. Celebrate life, sing a love song to your loved ones, let them sing along. Isn't it time we find we are all like a shining light when we celebrate life? Yeah, celebrate life. Oh, feel so open-hearted, get the party started. Yeah, come celebrate life.
Thank you, Sharon, for the slides. They were wonderful. Thank you.
Well, it's that time in our service now where we share our gratitude, give thanks for all the abundance that we have, for the blessings of our memories, for our ancestors. So I ask you to take in your hand your offering and say with me, from the heart, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Send forth this gift with my blessings and my love. Divine Spirit, we thank you for this offering. We know it is given in love and will be received in love, and it moves throughout this ministry with the energy of divine love. We know it is going out into our community and doing good, and that each giver is blessed, for this is the law. And so it is. Thank you, God. Now let us affirm our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now we have only 2 announcements here. We have a Day of Remembrance dinner that is coming up, I'm assuming, right after service. And, the trip to Bethlehem. Rev Luz is going to be teaching this class on Wednesdays. It's running from November 16th through December 14th from 4 to 5:30 p.m. For those of you who are working, this is the perfect time. I always used to be frustrated because I would have to take time off from work to come to classes, so this is good. There is a sign-up sheet out in the foyer. You can access the information on the website, the weekly wake-up, or sometimes Facebook. So you will enjoy this journey. This is a journey you can take any time of the year, but it's always very special during this coming Advent season. So I encourage you to sign up for it. And so, do we have any children today besides all of us? All of us. So let us sing our peace song. Oh, what? Oh, sure.
Thank you. It was kind of a last-minute announcement, so I didn't want to overwhelm. So, this is the month of November is a month of gratitude. We all have that ability to find and tap into the well of gratitude that is within us. So I created a little gratitude 21-day intentional gratitude journal. There's a little message inside there from me to you. And then every day there is a little inspirational either affirmation or something to inspire you. And all I would say for you would be to think about 5 things in the morning that you want to be grateful for. And 5 things after you go through your whole day. When you come back before bed, think about the things that showed up in your life during the day. And before you go to bed, put 5 more things there. Do it for 21 days, because what we know is what you appreciate will multiply and will grow. And I pray that you will put our community as part of the things that you appreciate. These will be in the bookstore. All the pros, I'm asking you to give whatever is from your heart. It's a love offering, whatever you feel led. It'll be for the church, obviously. So I encourage you to take one of these. Now, if we run out for any reason, we will make more. Just let us know that you want one, and we'll just make more during the week, and we'll have them available for you. So gratitude journal. I hope that you will take advantage of this, and it'll be in the bookstore. And now we can sing our peace song. I bless you. I hope to see you in the cafe. I know that together we will do amazing things. And so think this week about your life and how you could sprinkle a little more joy out there, a little more love. So let's sing the peace song.
the start, opening hearts, making life better. Let's paint the town with a rainbow of joy to bring us together. Celebrate life, talk about love, radiate hope, lift up the world. We can share the joy of knowing we are filled to overflowing. Celebrate life, sing a love song to your loved ones, let them sing along. Isn't it time we find we are all like a shining light when we celebrate life? If you're ready to play out in the day, whatever the weather, let the rain fall, there's joy in it all when we do it together. Celebrate life, talk about love, radiate hope, lift up the world. We can share the joy of knowing we are filled to overflowing. Celebrate life, sing a love song to your loved ones, let them sing along.